Welcome to another episode of Roll Up a Pull Up. So get your blood rolled and your drink poured. Alright? Now look, so for this one, I'm gonna be telling y'all about this girl named F.O.E Kyra. You know what I'm saying? Alright. Now, before I tell y'all about her, I'm gonna break down my hood one more time for y'all so y'all can understand why I'm about to come at with this story and how I'm about to put it all together. You know what I'm saying? Alright, now look. The West 7 Mile Hood is from 6 Mile to 8 Mile. That's north and south. Then you got from Greenfield to Telegraph. That's east to west, right? That might be about a 15-mile stretch, north, south, east, west. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, hold up. I'm lying. That's a lot. Hold up. 6 to 8, that's 2 miles. Then Greenfield, Southfield, that's 1 mile. Southfield to Evergreen, that's 2 miles. Evergreen to Lasher, that's 3 miles. Lasher to Telegraph is 4 miles. Okay, so about 6 miles. You know what I'm saying? Six, maybe 7 miles, right? All it is the whole West 7 Mile neighborhood, right? All right. My neighborhood, well, my community of this whole zone, right, is the 7 Mile and Evergreen area, right? That's my hood. All right. For Life Hood is two hoods up the street going east. So from Evergreen to Southfield, that neighborhood is called the AG's hood, right? They Avon, Greenview, Stahaling. Them was their main blocks within that 1 mile stretch from Evergreen to Southfield. Then at the Southfield Freeway, you got Southfield Freeway to Greenfield. That's the For Life neighborhood. It's all on the same 7 mile stretch, but it's in different communities. And these main roads split our hoods, right? Okay. Now we got all that understood, right? So For Life Kyra is from the For Life hood, which is 2 miles up the street from my community, right? All right. So the way how I met this girl, right? It's a crazy story I'm about to tell you because she almost got smoked. You know what I'm saying? On that rah shit. You feel me? But she was my nigga though. She was a real rider, but she was crazy. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's go. So we gonna jump in this time capsule. We gonna go back to 2010, right? This is when I first met her, right? So I had a homeboy that stayed in my hood named Fat Mike. Fat Mike was my man's. You know what I'm saying? Long story on that, Fat Mike, he had the hoes. Like, he had plenty bitches. You know what I'm saying? Well, at this time, he had a group of girls that he was messing with. And he had them come over to his crib, right? With that being said, he called me over. I'm one of the bros. You know what I'm saying? Every time he had a flock of girls come over there, he called up his close homies. I was one of them. You know what I'm saying? So this time he got a new flock of chicks. He hit me up. Come through, whoop-de-whoop. Bet. So I come pull up on him. Now, Fat Mike stay in my hood, right? Our side street that divide the 7 Mile area from 8 Mile area is a side street called Pembroke, right? He stayed right off of Pembroke, a corner house. You know what I'm saying? So when I pull up to his house, I park on the side street on Pembroke, meaning a lot of cars come back and forth, shit like that, right? So I pulled up to his crib, right? I get there, I see the lights on, of course. You know, I got there a little late. So it's dark. I see all the lights on. I see people walking around in the crib because you got the blinds open and shit, right? So I see men and women in there, right? So I go in. When I go in, the girls is to the left, sitting on the couch in the living room. The guys to the right in the little dining room area. The guys in there shooting dice and shit, right? So when I come in there, Fat Mike, he's standing over the girls, entertaining them and shit, right? So when I come in, he slap fives with me, we talking our shit, blah, 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 right? I seen this girl looking at me. You know, I never seen her before, nothing. I seen her looking at me, but, you know, I let things be what it was. So after I chopped it up with Fat Mike, I turned around to the guys, because them was my niggas too. I turned around to them and I got to shooting dice with them. I told you I was heavy on the dice game. So every time I see a dice game, I jump in it. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, the girl that was looking at me, she jumped up from the couch and she came in the dining room where the dining room where the guys was at shooting dice. You know what I'm saying? When she come in there, she's standing right next to me. I'm on the ground shooting. You know what I'm saying? Doing my thing, right? She cheering me on the whole time. She making side bets with niggas. I bet he hit this. I bet he do that. Woo, woo, woo. The guy's looking at me like, this your chick is so what's up with her? I'm like, nah, she just cool people. Woo, woo. I don't know her for shit. But, I'm just playing along with the play along, right? Well, after all of that said done, we done shooting dice and shit. So the next thing you know, she get to talking to me. You know what I'm saying? She like, yeah, I made a couple dollars off you. She like, I just knew you was gonna hit, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, why you doing all of that? Am I gonna get the hit? You know what I'm saying? I'm just, joking, talking my shit. She like, shit, just maybe. If you treat me right, mm, ain't that some shit? I'm like, all right, you smoke, drink, what's up? She like, yeah, I do both. I'm like, well, come on, come jump in the car with me. I got the weed and shit in the car. Come on, we can smoke whatever. Woody woo. She like, big. So we walked out to my car. Right. This is the time when I had the blue and white Crown Vic on the blue and white 22s. Right. So when we went out there to the car, she like, oh, this your car? Woo, woo. I'm like, yeah. She like, I see this car all the time. I never knew that was you. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Woo. So we get in the car. She really on my dick now. You know what I'm saying? I got blunts rolled. Now it's time to pour that drink. You know what I'm saying? So we getting fried. We talking shit, all of that, right? By this time, we might be about 30, 40 minutes in our convo. You know, she like, you know what? I want to know what it's like. What's up? What you trying to do? What? Now look, Fat Mike, he stayed about 3 or 4 blocks away from me. The street he stayed on was called Patton. So he stayed on the corner house of Patton and Pembroke. You know what I'm saying? I stayed on Burt Road. So you got Patton, Brill, Pierce, and Burt Road. So literally his block was just a couple blocks away from my block, right? Pulled right up at the crib. Smashed it, right? Killed her ass, right? After that, I took her back to Fat Mike house. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was just gonna be a little one-time thing, right? She asked me for my number and shit. She like, I fuck with you. Woo, woo, woo. She like, we gotta keep in touch, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, cool. So we swap numbers. She went in the house. I pull off, right? The very next morning, like 7 a.m., no lie. She's blowing my line up. I ain't answering. I'm still in the bed. She texts me, hey, daddy, call me when you get up. The fuck? So I finally call her after I brush my teeth and take a shower, all that shit, right? I'm like, what's up? She like, I had a good time with you. I fuck with you. Woo woo. She like, we should hang out more. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? At that time, I was working at Bob's Pizza in my neighborhood. Remember when I told y'all I was doing the delivery driving in my hood and I almost got robbed in my hood doing the delivery driving and all of that shit? Well, that's where I was working at the time, right? So when I go to my job and shit, she'd tell me, be like, hey, I don't know what you got going on, woo, but she like, I don't mind riding with you. I don't got nothing to do, blah, blah, blah. So in between that time, between deliveries and shit, I go pull up at her crib. She'd jump in the car with me. She'd be riding around with me while I'm making deliveries, all that shit. I never gave her a dime of my money, so don't think none of that. No. She just genuinely like to ride around with me while I'm making deliveries type shit. You know what I'm saying? Straight up rider. Like she didn't care what I had going on. She was riding with me, right? I'm smashing her every day. She slide me up in the car while I'm riding around. After I drop off delivery, get to slide me up and all that, going back to buy his piece, all type of shit, right? Like crazy, man. She was a fucking rider. We wasn't never no relationship. We never kissed, none of that. She was just a rider. You know what I'm saying? At the time, I was on probation, right? And they gave me all this community service shit, right? So I'm doing this community service. With the community service, they had me stationed at this so-called church, but it was a school. Now the church was in my hood, off down there on 7 Mile Telegraph. You know what I'm saying? In that neighborhood, it was a abandoned school, and the pastor and his wife or whatever, they was turning it into a church type shit. So it was just some janky shit going on. Well, my community service was tied to that church. So when I went there for my community service, my services was to be the security guard for them. So I'd be there for like 5 to 7 p.m. You know what I'm saying, Monday through Friday. Instead of them giving me 2 hours a day, they would give me 5 hours a day. I think I had like 200 hours of community service, some crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? But they told me like, hey, you do the 2 hours a day, we give you 5 hours a day. You know, type shit. So I'm finessing the extra three free hours a day. You know what I'm saying? Just locking in with this church type shit. You know what I'm saying? Man, listen, when I got good with them, I might have been like 2 weeks in. You know what I'm saying? They realized I'm a cool nigga, all of it. So they fucking with me. They like, hey, we need to run home, take a shower, and we come back. Cause they'll literally be at that school all day long, like renovating and doing what they was doing, right? So they had to take their time to leave and go home and take a shower, take a shit, get their hunch on, do whatever they wanted to do, right? In between that time, that's when they would have me just stay at the school by myself while they go make their run, do what they do, right? Well, with that being said, Kyra would be with me. She knew I had this community service shit and all of that. She didn't care. She'd be in the school with me and everything. I didn't have to do no work. All I did was walk door to door, make sure, yeah, my bad, making sure wasn't nobody trying to break in and no shit like that. So when the pastor and his wife, when they leave out, me and Kyra would go in the classroom and be smashing. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, we was some young jackrabbits. You know what I'm saying? We was fucking, right? All right. So we got all that out the way, right? Now we about a month and a half, maybe 2 months in, right? This is my rider. We ain't in no relationship, none of that. We just rocking. You know what I'm saying? A nigga named L from my hood, right? He was getting money too. Had the nice whips, all that. SS money on 26s, all like that nigga was clowning back then. You know what I'm saying? So he had the hoes too. Like, when you fuck with the cars, you had the hoes. The hoes love niggas with the nice cars. You know what I'm saying? So I was one of them dudes in the hood that had the nice cars. So I had a bunch of bitches. L was another one that had the nice cars. He had a bunch of bitches. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, L hit me up one night. Like I said, he one of the homies from the hood. I done been at his house shooting dice with him and everything. Matter of fact, I made a video about how we had to run up in these guys' crib because they stole my man's shit. You know what I'm saying? We ran up in their trap house and shit, and we damn near could have got killed in that bitch. This the same nigga I'm talking about. He hit me up, boom. What's the deal, bro? Where you at? Woo woo. I'm like, shit, I'm in the hood. What's going on? He like, man, I just bought this crib over here on Fielding. Fielding is right around the corner from Petty. You know what I'm saying? He like, I just got this crib over here on Fielding. We throwing a little party. Woo woo, come through. I'm like, all right, babe. We got shit to do. Kyra with me in the passenger again, right? So I tell her, I'm like, hey, you want to go to this party? Woo woo. She like, yeah, that'd be cool. Blah blah blah. I'm like, all right, babe. I'm like, let me call Fat Mike. Let me see what he on. Because he literally stayed right around the corner. You got Patton and Fielding, you know. He didn't have a car at the time. So I'm going to pick him up, to take him to the party because this was the middle of the winter. So I wasn't going to have my dog walking, you know what I'm saying? And Fat Mike and L, they was homies too. So I called him up. What's up, nigga? Woo woo. You know what I'm saying? He threw me the bitch anyway, type shit. So I had to look out for my dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's up, nigga? He like, what's the deal? I'm like, man, L got a party on field and woo woo, you trying to go through there. He like, yeah, come school me. I'm like, bet, about to pull up. So I pull up. Boom, I pull up on Pembroke and Patton. Pull up on Pembroke, right? While I'm sitting there, Kyra's in the passenger. I got her rolling the weed and everything at this point. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. While we sitting there talking, Kyra was one of them real rowdy type chicks that like to fight. you know what I'm saying, and be on that tip. Now, my hood and her hood was beefing at the time. You know what I'm saying? In the middle of they beef, one of their homies got killed, you know, on the Fo Life side. So they hood hated our hood. Like it was a natural hate. Like it was real serious. Like O Block and 63rd, like that's how Fo Life in my hood was. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, I'm not about to incriminate nobody. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just say the Vicelords, right? So it was the Vicelords of my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? That Fo Life was really beefing with for real. You know what I'm saying? So with they having a beef going on, that's what that shit was. That's how it was. You know, it was crazy like that. You know, but a lot of them for life niggas didn't like our hood at all because they mans got killed behind some shit they had going on. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I got for life Kyra in the car with me in my hood, and mind you, my hood and for life is beefing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like on site type shit. You know what I'm saying? But she a female, so I ain't thinking nothing of it. Well, while I'm sitting there on the side street, the Vice Lords, they coming up Pembroke. They see my car. Mind you, I got a very distinctive car. And I'm sitting on the side, just like side Main Street. You know what I'm saying? So they come riding up the street. They pulled up right next to me. I look over, I roll down the window. I'm like, what's the deal? Woo, woo, you know? They like, shit, what you want? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, shit, you know that nigga L got a party around the corner. We about to go over there. So while I'm politicking with the Vice Lords and shit, one of them leaned up from the passenger seat. He like, who you got in the passenger seat with you? You know, he in the passenger seat with his homeboy. He leaned up and looking at my passenger seat, trying to see who I got in the passenger seat of my car. You know, why he lean up and he looking? Kyra leaned up, like leaned past me to look at him. So now they looking at each other. He like, man, that's that Fo Life bitch. Woo, woo, woo. Man, she got to going crazy. She in the middle of rolling the blunt. She done threw the weed in the air, everything. Weed went everywhere, all of this shit, right? I'm like, man, what the fuck? Man, she going hard on me. Fuck y'all niggas smoke. Woo, woo, woo. Y'all was behind that one shit. Blah, 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 blah. Like, she going crazy. These niggas then upstrapped. I'm like, dog, chill out. Calm that shit down. You know what I'm saying? They like, man, fuck that bitch. Woo, woo. Like, why the fuck you got that bitch in the hood? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nigga, this is my little bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, y'all niggas gotta chill, man. You know? They're like, all right, bro. We just gonna holler at you later, but get that bitch out the hood. Woo, woo. They pull off, right? They pull off. I look at her. I'm like, the fuck wrong with you? You know? She like, that's them niggas that had something to do with my mans. Woo, woo, woo. I'm like, look, man. I'm like, you ain't about that life like these niggas is. These niggas is real life kill you. I'm like, if I wasn't here, they would have smoked your ass for real. Like, you tweaking. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. Fuck them niggas. Woo, woo, woo. I'm like, look, I'm gonna tell you like this. If you don't calm this shit down, you can't ride with me no more. Cause you don't understand. These niggas is some killers. You know what I'm saying? And you playing. You a female. You not into this street shit. You know what I'm saying? You just claiming that side because that's where you from. But you not into this beef that's going on for real. Like, you don't understand what the fuck is really going on. You know what I'm saying? So I had to check her. After I checked her, she was like, all right, I'm gonna be cool because I don't want to lose you. But she like, still fuck them niggas, blah, blah, blah. I just don't want to lose you, blah, 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 right? All right, whatever, you know? So after that, Fat Mike finally come out the crib. He missed the whole goddamn got into his shit that had happened from car to car. He missed all that shit, right? It's just how quick shit happened in the hood. Shit just happened in the hood that quick like that. And this shit might literally been within a minute. That's just how quick that shit was, right? Well, Fat Mike finally come get in the car, right? He see my face and her face all toe up. He like, man, what the fuck just happened? Woo, woo. I'm like, dog, Vice Lord niggas just rolled up, woo, woo. You know, she got on that for life shit. He already knew what time it was. He instantly checked her. Like, bitch, you in the wrong hood. You would get killed over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you know them niggas is really at war? Like, you tripping, you know? So after I checked her, she calmed down. After Fat Mike checked her, she really came down. Like, all right, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, bitch, you in a fucking rival hood. What type of time you on? You know? So after all of that, we pull up to the party, right? We pull up to the house that L had where he was having a little party at, right? Well, when we get there, we go in. When we go in, one of the homies, one of L homies, he knew Kyra. You know what I'm saying? So he pulled me to the side. He like, bro, you fuck with her? Woo, woo. I'm like, oh my God, here we go again. I'm thinking that now they about to be on that for life and my hood shit, you know? Bro, like, yeah, man, you know, she a little rat. Woo, woo. I'm like, straight up. Now, like I said, by this time, I got some time invested with her. You know, she my little rider, woody woo, you know? I'm like, straight up. He like, man, that bitch a rat, bro. She be fucking everybody. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. Me and him, we kicking it for a minute. He just telling me all of the niggas that she fuck with, and which is all the niggas off of 7 Mile in that whole fucking neighborhood zone that I named, that I explained to y'all at the beginning. He was naming members from all in that whole zone. That, what did I say? That was like a 6, 7 mile radius. He was naming homies all through that community. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, get the fuck out of here. He like, bro, she just like street niggas, man. But he like, look, check this out. He like, you know what the fuck going on with that for life and the hood shit. He like, man, get away from that bitch. That bitch will get you killed. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, that is crazy as hell. So after me and him finished kicking and shit, everybody was in the living room. Me and bro, we went in like the kitchen, you know, the talk type shit. So by the time we come from the kitchen and going back into the living room, it's 3 niggas in there like dancing on her. Like she, you know, twerking and all of that shit. They grabbing her on the ass and shit, grabbing her by her titties, all type of shit. She just laughing and dancing, going with the groove or whatever. Mind you, this bitch is in a rival neighborhood and she just comfortable as hell letting all these niggas touch on her and everything. Now, at this party, it wasn't no women there. It was just all niggas. Now, the women that they had coming, they didn't show up yet. It was just all the homies there type shit. So basically, I brought the first bitch there. And like I said, everybody know that she was a rat. I'm the only nigga that wasn't hip to it. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. Because again, I didn't know her, you know? Well, I see her in action after my mans just told me what he told me. You know what I'm saying? So my mans, he tapped me on the shoulder. I look at him, he like, bro, I told you. She a rat. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all ain't even been here 5 minutes. And she already pretty much getting fucked. You know what I'm saying? Like, getting fucked on through the clothes type shit, you know? I was like, damn, I ain't gonna lie, I was hurt. I was, you know what I'm saying? Me and her, we had a little history like thing going on at that time. So I was kind of hurt. I ain't gonna lie, you know. I went to all the homies in the crib. It was about 10 of them in there, you know. I went to all the homies, I'm slapping fives with everybody. Boop, boop, boop. I'm like, all right, I'm up out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of nigga, if I bring you with me, I'm gonna give you a ride back home, right? Now, I didn't have to give Fat Mike a ride home because he over there with L in him. So after they party over with, L would just take Fat Mike back around the corner. But Kyra, they not fucking with her like that, you know? So I'm like, I go to Kyra, you know, by this time, she over there sitting there talking to the niggas and all this. I'm like, I'm about to roll out. I'm like, you know what you gonna do? She like, I'm gonna just stay here. I'll just get a ride home. What? Okay, cool. So I looked at L and them. I was like, hey y'all way. You know, L was like, we got her, bro. Woo, woo. I'm like, damn, fuck me up, dog. I promise you, no lie. Fuck me up, right? So I just walked out the crib. I left Fat Mike and Kyra there. You know what I'm saying? I went and jumped in the car. I pulled off. Rolled me another blunt and was like, damn, this is some crazy shit. This bitch just damn near got us killed just a minute ago, and now she over here with the homies laid up with them, about to get a train ran on her. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? But that was me slipping on my pimping anyway. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't even have, you know, like started catching little side feelings with her anyway because of the situation we had. I smashed her on the first night. You know what I'm saying? Now, the intention wasn't to be like she's gonna be my woman or nothing like that. It's just like I said, she been my rider. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like that. Like she was my rider. I wasn't expecting her to just get down with another set of niggas while she with me. Cause she was always on tip for me. You know what I'm saying? But then she got around a new crew of niggas and was like, all right, well, peace out, you know? Man, listen, I promise you, after that, me and her, we did not talk no more, right? She wasn't calling me, I wasn't calling her, none of that. Our little rider time was over with, right? Just like that. I guess she felt the vibes, you know, so she never called me. I didn't call her. Shit, bitch, you fucking with the homies from the hood. I know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? All right. Well, the very next year, 2011, I went to prison. I ain't heard nothing from Kyra in all this time, 2010 to 2011. I ain't heard nothing from her, right? So now 2011 come around, I go to prison. I did my 4 years. I get out. It's 2015 now, right? Like I said before, I posted a picture on Facebook and let everybody know I was out. I posted a picture. My caption said, I'm back. You know what I'm saying? Everybody liking the shit, commenting and all of this. Welcome home. Hit me up. Blah, 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 blah. All of this shit, right? Maybe like a month later, right? Kyra found my page because we weren't friends on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? She ended up finding my page and she added me, right? So I accepted. I wasn't tripping and nothing. Mind you, this is 4 years later. Well, really 5 years later, because like I said, I ain't seen her since 2010. You know, so this 5 years later, I'm fresh out. I ain't tripping. Boom, I accepted her, right? But she hopped in my inbox. She like, dang, how you been? I ain't seen you in years. Blah 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 blah. You know, and we talking about that shit or whatever. She like, yeah, you should come see me, blah, blah, blah. She like, I got my own crib now, I'm grown, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, that's cool. You know, yeah, I'll come see you one of these days, right? So the crazy thing is the next day I went to go see her, right? I made a video about this. The video was talking about when I got drunk as fuck and I passed out in the middle of the street and all that shit. On the thumbnail, it's a picture of me holding the 1800 bottle. I took a picture of it and shit. Yeah, that video. When that happened, when I was out with my homies, we was drinking the 1800 and all of that shit, and I passed out. I threw up on my clothes. I had an all white outfit on. I threw up on my clothes, all that shit, right? We went to some girls' house that night. That's how all this shit happened, you know, because we went to the girls' crib. We kicking it with the girls. The girl that I was kicking it with was digging me. I mean, digging me. I remember this before I passed out, you know. After I passed out, she the one that came and changed my clothes for me and everything while I was knocked out type shit, you know. So after all that, my homies picked me up. They threw me in the back seat of my man's truck, right? After that, we went to my homie's house. I'm still slumped. They went in the crib, all that, right? By the time I wake up, I'm in my homie clothes. You know what I'm saying? So I go in the crib. Where the fuck my clothes at? They in the back seat, you know, in the back of the trunk, because he had an F-150. It was in the back of his trunk. I went back there, showing up my clothes in there, fucking throw up on my shirt and pants, like through. Man, it was an all white Nike outfit. You know what I'm saying? My shit was through. Anyway, I grabbed my clothes and shit, right? At this time, it's about 6:30 in the morning. My phone was dead. I charged my phone, right? I had like 3 messages from Kyra, like, come see me. I want to see you so bad, blah, 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 right? So I went to my homie Flash, right? This was his F-150. I was slumped in the back seat of, and it was his clothes that I was wearing type shit. So I went to my homie. I'm like, hey, man, Mike, take me over to Kyra house. You know what I'm saying? He knew about Kyra and all that shit. He like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? So Kyra gave me the address. Boom. Went over her crib, right? So mind you, this 5 years later, you know, I pull up. I got my clothes with me and shit, and I got his clothes on. So when I go in the crib, she's like, what the fuck you wearing? Woo, woo. You know, no, it ain't my style. Me and Flash, we got 2 different styles. You know what I'm saying? So I showed her my clothes. I'm like, man, I threw up on my shit. I had to wear my man's shit, you know. She like, oh, it ain't no problem. She like, I'm gonna wash it for you. You know, she being real nice and hospitality. Did I use that word right? Come on, y'all know what it is. But she showing me hospitality and all of this, right? So she done made me a plate of food. She done went to start washing my clothes. While that's going on, she take my clothes into the kitchen. So I follow her. We get to talking, we catching up. She over the sink, washing my clothes over the sink in the kitchen. What the fuck? I'm thinking she gonna put it in the washing machine or something. No, she hand washing my shit. Then she put my shit in a pot and started boiling my shit on the stove. Swear to God, dog. But I ain't tripping, whatever, man. So me and her kicking it, we catching up. So she like, you got any kids? I'm like, hell no, you know. At that time I had no kids, you know. I'm like, you got kids? She like, yeah. Like she kind of like had her head down when she said it. I'm like, what? I'm like, how many kids you got? Five. You done had five kids in the past 5 years. So you was having a kid every year. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. Five fucking kids, dog. She didn't have no kids when I met her. But by the time I got out of prison and we like reunited, she had five kids, bro. Just getting smashed. So I'm like, how many baby daddies you got? Three. OV. I'm like, yeah, that little rider shit can never be rekindled. Like, even if I did want to fuck with you like that, bitch, you got five kids. You got to attend to your kids, you know? But this ain't what I said to her. This is just what I'm thinking in my head, you know? Sorry, whatever. We keep talking and all that shit. She washed the clothes. Now it's time to dry 'em. Well, she don't have a washer or a dryer. So she went outside and hung my clothes up on the damn clothesline for them to dry. Mind you, I ain't had to wash them or nothing, so I ain't even tripping. Whatever, man. It is what it is, right? So she come back in the crib, we kicking it. She like, you know, it's been a long time, but she was like, you know, we used to fuck around like every day for real. I'm like, shit, two, sometimes maybe three times a day, you know? She like, I ain't even gonna lie, I missed you. Woo, woo. I'm like, oh, I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So long story on that, we ended up smashing. Now, mind you, this 5 years later, you know what I'm saying? Pussy still good, but it wasn't like what I remembered it, you know? And after we did, it was like we looked at each other and it was like, damn, you know, things ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't, you know? So with that being said, I went outside to go check on my clothes. They were still a little damp, you know. Okay, cool. So I called Fat Mike to come get me, right? Fat Mike came, pulled up instantly. We all in the crib kicking it for a minute. I'm letting the clothes dry for like another 20 minutes. Go back out there, check on them again. They drying up, right? So I take my man's clothes off. I put my shit on. I come in. I tell Fat Mike, I'm like, hey, come on, we up. You know what I'm saying? We peace Kyra out. We got the fuck up out of here. You know what I'm saying? That was dead. I ain't talked to her 80 cents. That was over with. All right, now what's the moral of the story, Mr. Roll Up? Moral of the story is if you was, you know, kicking it with somebody, ride or die with somebody, you know, whatever the case was, and y'all like split apart for some odd reason, whatever y'all split apart for, leave it at that. Don't ever try and rekindle it. It's a reason why God closed that door. You know what I'm saying? Some people was around for a reason, some people around for a season. A person like her, she was just around for a season. You know what I'm saying? She just brought a nigga a little comfort, a little ride or die time, you know, some recreational use. You know what I'm saying? She was just a fun time, not a long time. You know what I'm saying? And I had to learn that the hard way, even though I didn't learn it the way how I wanted to. But it took for my own homies to show me, like, hey, she ain't what you think she is. You know what I'm saying? And the craziest part about it was that same day, she almost got us killed. You know what I'm saying? By the damn Vicelords from the hood type shit, you know? So I think that God was just letting me know on that day when that happened between her and the Vicelord, it was like, all right, it's time to split. And this is what it took for me to split from her. Because other than that, I probably would have just overlooked the signs and probably ultimately would have got killed with her ass. You know what I'm saying? Cause she was just in the hood, like wasn't shit up type shit. And these niggas real like wanted to get her, you know. Before I closed that out, I ran into the homies again, after that situation, and they was telling me, they like, bro, don't have her around here, dog. They like, man, we get to shooting at her. We don't want to shoot at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause real shit, it's up there. Woo woo. By this time, I'm telling them, I'm like, man, I don't fuck with her no more. Fuck that bitch. They like, good, cause we real life was ready to take her head off. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I just threw that in there, right? So like I said, when God closed the door, he letting you know, like that time frame is over with. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he did. He closed that door on me and her riding the way how we did. You know what I'm saying? And it was because she was too fucking ratchet. You know what I'm saying? And that could have led to my demise. You know what I'm saying? Just fucking word type shit. So when God closed the door, do not try and reopen it. You know what I'm saying? He closed that door for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And this is proof because I ended up opening that door with her again 5 years later. And it just didn't click. You know what I'm saying? We had a nice little convo, whatever. We fucked and all of that, but it just didn't click because that season was over with. You know what I'm saying? So again, if a door closed on you with a situation you got with somebody, leave it at that. That door closed for a reason. It probably just saved your life. How about that? It's been another episode of Roll Up a Poet. So get your blunt rolled and your drink poured.